Yeah, good question. Usually, when we're doing that work, that deep work, the kind of foundational work of knowing ourselves and overcoming ego, the analytical mind, the mind that doesn't necessarily overcome the ego, wants a lot of system, right? A lot of structure in order to know how to actually transcend this. And it thinks, how am I supposed to overcome this? Or it's seeing so many things and it gets overwhelmed. And in a way, that kind of thinking does still come from the same type of thinking that kind of got us lost in the first place, right? Because what is ego? What is an ego? How does it come about? It comes about from there's problems in the world or desires, and then we try to analyze and we try to think, how am I going to, achieve this thing or get this thing that I desire as an ego? And then we start analyzing, we start wanting, and we start plotting our way forward to try and get that thing. But then when we try to overcome ego, we try to do the same thing because we've been habituated. We're in a habit of doing that same thing, right? So we have to try and change the approach a little bit. We have to have less analytical mindset. We do need to analyze, but we have to try and not use the mind too much. We definitely, you're probably doing everything right. I'm not saying you're doing anything wrong at all. I'm just saying that we need more consciousness. My point is that we need more consciousness rather than trying to analyze, trying to get a set time period, and try to just rein in the mind a little bit with its asking of how is this going to be done? How long is this going to take? Things like that. Because really, when we overcome the ego and we really start to change and really start to grow, it really comes from this cultivation of these practices of your consciousness, stillness, deeper understanding, emotions, higher intelligence. Okay, yeah. So my main point is don't worry too much about the timeline. As long as you know specific things that you want to overcome, you can really just overcome. You can see something very quickly and then move towards sort of reality that you want to, that you would see yourself without this thing anymore. And then really it's just a matter of will, right? Doing the things that will help you to overcome whatever obstacle is in your way. And as long as you take willful action, higher action. I speak about this in the next video that I'll release tomorrow. I've not edited it yet, but I talk about a higher will or higher willpower and how it helps us. So, because once you identify something, you know, right? You know in your ego, you know in your analytical mindset what you should do. You shouldn't do that anymore, but maybe you're still acting that way. So it's more about willpower, and attaining this conscious will from our higher self, so to speak. And then also getting in touch with our emotions, our deeper emotions, our subconsciousness, in order to know our feelings, so that we're not suppressing anything or faking it or acting too much, right? Taking time at least like 10-15 minutes a day just to close our eyes, meditate, get in touch with our emotions, and feel whether we truly want to get rid of that or not. And then through meditation, you're able to see or feel when you're ready to really let go. And you can, the more you meditate on it, the more you can really start to get an intuitive sense of, okay, this ego is really going now. And then, of course, you can test yourself. If it's like an ego of anger, for example, you can test yourself in daily life. If there's something that always, pisses you off during the day, um, you can see if you're not getting angry anymore. And then you'll be, okay, I'm quite happy. This is, I'm not being as angry anymore. And I'm having less outbursts. And I'm getting more self-possessed rather than ego-possessed, right? You're more at home rather than acting impulsively. I don't know if that helps, but yeah, good question.